Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
This podcast is entirely improvised for listeners like you. Thank you.
Sit on down, sit and reach and talk for a while, and I wanna see if I can make you smile.
Hi, welcome to Characters Anonymous. This is a support group for fictional characters. Today I'm joined by 4 incredibly important, significant, and just iconic individuals within the Characters Anonymous community. I'm sitting down with Santa. 4 Santas, to be precise. We're going to start by introducing ourselves, and I will start by saying that, hi, you know who I am already. I'll say it for just in case people are listening in the future. My name is Dr. Molly Dickens.
Molly.
Hi, Santa.
Oh, Molly, you were a great child growing up. I remember your 12th birthday. That was the first time I got you a present that you really, really didn't want. And you were still so happy about it. Molly.
You got me a pogo stick.
And you used that pogo stick like it was the most important pogo stick of all.
I did. I started pogo club at school even. I've always been very grateful of you, Santa.
I'm glad you were. Yeah, so I guess I should introduce myself, shouldn't I?
Yes, please.
My name is Santa Claus, like you would expect. Some people call me Nicholas, Saint Nick. I am from a movie. I guess I'm a fictional Santa, but still real in many ways. I ended up being the villain of that movie, which made me really reflect on myself. And since then, I've changed my tune.
Okay. So, if we are going to distinguish between all of us, what can I call you, Santa? Can I call you...
Well, I think...
Reflective Santa?
The end of the movie, they called me Corporate Santa.
Corporate Santa.
So, I think I'll take that. I'll carry that burden.
And what exactly is your corporation?
Elves, of course.
Oh.
We just created toys for all the children.
Yes. I understand.
There were some complaints about how I was running the shop, but there's a lot of toys. You can't get your pogo sticks without a little hard, elbow grease.
Interesting. I am wondering, how did you feel at the end of the movie, as you call it?
Well, when those kids came up to the North Pole and let me know that I had forgotten the magic of Christmas, the love and joy I was supposed to be spreading, it really changed me. To be honest, I have not forced an elf to work more than 10 hours a day in 2 years.
10 hours is reduced from what number?
Well, you got, 4 hours to sleep, an hour to eat, and there's a lot of toys to make for every child on Earth.
Okay, so you were running them 19 hours a day. And now it's 10? That is really good. That's really, really, really good,
Less
actually.
than 10 sometimes even.
Wow, great. Wonderful. Okay, this almost feels rude to say. I can call you Corporate Santa.
If you'd like. It's, I'm trying to get rid of that. I'm trying to put that behind me.
Okay, how would you like to be seen?
Efficient Santa.
Okay.
No child has ever gone without a toy under my watch.
Okay. How about Boss Santa?
I would take that.
You feel like a boss?
You know, it's not about the boss. It's about the giving back. That's what I've learned now.
Okay, Boss Santa. Thank you so much. I'm going to move to the next Santa who would like to introduce themselves.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Nicholas Claus. I am 24 years old and I have a twinkle in my eye and a sparkle in my cheek. How are y'all doing today?
Doing wonderful, Nicholas.
Oh, just call me Nick.
Nick.
I gotta say, being around this table is like looking at 3 different visions of my future. It's amazing. We got shareholder Santa and we got 2 more we have yet to meet.
Huh. You know, maybe this is the perfect place for you, Nick. You have 3 much older Santas.
Much older.
Much older.
Yeah, I just graduated Christmas college.
Oh, Christmas college.
Yeah. You haven't heard of it?
No, I haven't. Please, can you tell me about that?
Christmas College. It's the number 1 seed in the North Pole draft. We have a great competitive ice hockey team, and that's about it. The fraternity scene is kind of lame, if I'm being honest. It's, you expect some parties on a Friday night, but sometimes it's just like dry. I'm so glad I graduated.
And where is this university?
The North Pole.
Oh, and how big was your class?
7.
Wow.
Yeah, it was mostly reindeer.
Okay, how many other humans?
It was mostly just me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was a scholarship kid.
Yeah, I see that.
You see that? What does that mean? Do I look poor to you?
No, it's the opposite, actually, Nick. I feel like you look very focused and driven.
My professor said the same thing. So thank you.
Who is your professor?
Mr. Kringle. My father. Okay, it was basically homeschool, but look, we all had to get an education somewhere, right?
Boss Santa, were you also educated?
College is a scam, my personal opinion. But no, I learned from the real way to learn how to run a corporation. I mean, to be Santa Claus. I learned by going out there, pulling my own bootstraps up, and getting those elves working. That's how I learned to be Santa. But I salute you for following a family business.
Thank you.
If you ever need some advice, I can talk to you after the session.
On how to be more efficient?
Efficient, of course.
Okay, well, I'll jot that down.
Thank you, Nick. Would either of the other 2 like to introduce themselves?
Yeah, I want to go. My name's the real Santa. All right, I'm the real Santa. And you know what happened to that jerk who used to be in the North Pole going around with all those presents? I took him out, okay? I'm the only Santa in the North Pole now, and I'm the real Santa. That's my name.
Oh, okay. You took him out.
I took him out. Something happened to him.
Oh.
Like on a date?
Yeah, we'll call it a date. Sure, I took him out.
Oh, that sounds actually kind of nice.
Where'd you take him?
Let's say the North Pole. It got real cold for him. It got real cold.
Yeah, it gets pretty cold up there.
You took him from the North Pole to the North Pole.
Yeah, let's just say it's real icy and that water goes deep.
You sound like a shark.
Yeah, maybe there were sharks. Maybe there were. I'll tell you what happened, okay? I'm not from here, okay? I come from a different background.
Well, here, for anyone listening in the future, is San Francisco. I don't think many of the other Santas here are also from San Francisco. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm
real
from
Santa?
a way different place. Pennsylvania. Okay? It's completely different, and I saw this Santa guy, and I wanted in on it. So now I'm the real Santa. I got the entire enterprise, the whole empire. Okay? I'm loaded. I have every present in the world. No one's ever gonna take me down. I have a castle. I have reindeer. I can fly anywhere I want. It's a private jet.
Wow. all I can really think here, real Santa, is that you and Boss Santa sound like you would get along very well, and it's a good thing that you're both at this table together.
Well, I believe in ethical business. I don't know about how you got rid of your competition, but...
He took him on a date.
Yeah, date.
Interesting.
Here, you want to know the skinny? I blew up Santa's castle. The factory, everything.
Well, then where do you live?
Well, I had the elves rebuild it. It's all pristine. It's bulletproof. It's impossible to break in.
Less of a holiday magical experience, more of like a Christmas bunker, sounds like.
Yeah, this is how the real North Pole works. You think it's a pretty business.
Well, I was kind of hoping it would be, but you're painting kind of a grim picture of my future.
Yeah, that's what I always say. Christmas is grim.
I gotta ask you what the name of your movie was.
Santa Claus.
I did see that one.
It was a bestseller. It was all over.
So, real Santa, I have many, many more questions for you, but we have one more individual that needs to introduce themselves.
Hello, Santas. It is I, your favorite partner, Krampus. And, yes, I know, well, you're a good little boy, Nick. But real Santa Claus, is it? You're a naughty boy, but not as naughty as this corporate sellout is.
Naughty?
Now, Krampus, I invited you here. Well, number one, because I couldn't get a fourth Santa Claus, but also because you and I have spoken before, and you seem to need community. Please, Krampus.
Molly Dickens. I can see in your heart. These Santas, they're always nice and bring children presents, so they act nice. What about the naughty ones? Who's there to put them in their place?
Me. I deal with the naughty ones.
You deal with the naughty ones, do you, real Santa?
Oh, yeah, I deal with the naughty ones, and I make sure they get coal. Because that's really, really mean.
So you give them something they can burn and warm their hearts with. How about wrapping them up in chains and hitting them with a birch switch and stuffing them into your sack and never letting them be seen again?
What I do is way worse. Over time, the federal government is going to fine them for their regressive energy usage, and that's way, way worse.
The government.
I'm that bad. All right. So you got your chains. I got way worse stuff than that.
You got your
and that's just the beginning.
bulletproof bunker that you hide in, so afraid of being shot.
Yeah, so what? You know what happened to the last Santa Claus?
Yes, he went on a date.
Yeah, we'll call it a date.
We've been calling it a date.
Yeah, sure. That's what it was. Maybe I blew something up.
You said that you blew... You said that you blew up?
I thought you meant on Twitter.
No. You see, before, I was just a guy in Philly, okay? And I always had ambitions, okay? I wasn't going to be stuck in Tequila's bar. Tequila, that's the name. Tequila bar. Like my father and his father. I wanted to make it big. I wanted to become Santa Claus.
Krampus. No, I'm sorry. Boss Santa, please.
I was just going to tell young Nick. I would recommend not paying too much attention to either of these two gentlemen's approach to Santing.
Why? It seems like he's got great dating advice.
I do. You seen Mrs. Claus?
Not recently, but there is this young lady I'm interested. Her first name, well, it's not important, but her last name is Claus. She is my sister.
Yeah, I'd recommend taking her on a date.
Oh, yeah, and then I
What?
blow her up? Is that what I do?
Well, that's if she's not aligned with your enterprise.
Oh.
I can just say, your image is not going to survive that. These
Going
days,
on a date?
maybe 60 years ago, you could tie up kids and you could give them coal. That does not work in 2024. You can't date your own sister. Just as a little word of advice for you.
You have to respect traditions, boss.
Oh, Krampus. I was listening to you talking about whipping kids. That doesn't fly at all. Know what we do to bad kids now? We don't give them coal anymore. Because every child is just a product of their environment. We give them a nice little pamphlet so they can read that and become a better person. Now, what I'd recommend for you, what I would have learned, if you really love your sister so much, you can get a wife, someone else, and you can do whatever you do on the side. Just keep it out of the media spotlight.
Oh, sort of like a Cersei Lannister situation.
Exactly. It's a. You can still have your proclivities, but we hide them now in 2024.
Yeah, I'm really glad the North Pole gets HBO. I learned a lot.
Game of Thrones. I would have given them a lot of pamphlets on that show.
Well, I also heard, this is just something I learned at, Crispus U. Sometimes you also take away their health care.
It's a very tense time right now around healthcare. We have magic in the North Pole. You don't really need healthcare when you've got magic. The magic of Christmas will cure all wounds. It'll help you blow up buildings or not blow up buildings, and it'll warm even your heart, Krampus.
Boss Santa, now why are you elves writing me letters about not getting their health care?
The elves are getting treated very well now. They have mandatory breaks. They have stop times. They even, Mrs. Claus bakes some pies every year and gives them some of the extra cookies I don't eat.
I was going to be kidnapping this little boy, and then his nicer sister who got a present from you had a note stuck in it from an elf saying, "Help me, we're trapped."
Do you remember what child that was?
I'm not telling you, Santa.
Just check my list. You don't have to tell me.
Yeah, I see it twice there.
Boss Santa.
Sorry. I just need to take a quick note to follow up with little Kringle. Kringle's been a naughty elf. But sorry, yes. Doctor.
What drives you?
What drives me? That's a great question. Before I became Santa Claus, I was just a regular, plain man wandering the streets of Poland. And I thought in my heart, how can I help others? How can I give back? And that's what it's all really been about. How do we help the children? How do we give them things that I couldn't have when I was growing up? I never had fancy jewelry like I do now. I didn't have this Fendi Santa suit. And I thought...
It is quite beautiful.
Thank you. I custom made. Direct line at the factory.
I can imagine.
But, so I decided, how do I help the children? And so I figured, toys. I found some of these little people, elves, commonly called. They have a couple titles. And I got them working, and we made toys for the kids. We gave them out, worked with the parents. And after my death, I got deified, became Saint Nicholas, and I show up in the North Pole.
Wait, I die?
You can't become a saint until you die, son.
How old? When does it happen?
It's hard to define sometimes.
How old were you when it happened?
Literally, I was 41, but it's a metaphysical thing. It just happens at some point. Do I recall my before I died was a second life? I don't even fully remember it,
So you don't remember being me?
Guess I don't.
Wow.
I just one day woke up and I had a giant operation in the North Pole.
Well, I guess if that's what it takes to drive a Maserati, and it might be worth it, but I don't know, that's really hard to hear. I'm only going to live to 40?
Well, Nick, I think potentially the four of you are different people. But if that is how it works, then you have 17 years to forget about it.
I don't know if that's enough time.
Well, it might be different for you. I guess you're descended from your father, right? He's also a Santa Claus.
Were you, like, eating healthy?
Not at all.
Exercising?
You know, when you're running a busy operation, you eat whatever you can. Polar bear burger here, cookies there, whatever it takes.
No polar bear burgers. Underline,
Hey, Molly.
underline.
I don't believe in all this psycho support group mumbo jumbo. What do you think's wrong with me anyways, Doc?
That is a great question, Real Santa. I don't think there's anything wrong with you. But,
Exactly.
Real Santa, I sent out invitations for a support group and you accepted. So, why are you here?
Well, you want to know the truth?
Yes, absolutely.
Truth is, ever since I took over the North Pole and turned the North Pole into a bulletproof military base and killed the last Santa Claus, I've actually felt a little isolated because I'm really the only Santa that I know. And the elves they don't really like me that much because I'm not nice to them. And Mrs. Claus says that I'm not emotionally connecting with her. I think it's because of like the explosives and all that stuff that I'm working on.
Yeah.
Really busy all the time.
Not to mention you dated her husband.
Yeah. Well, sure, yeah.
One date counts as dating, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then my sister and I are definitely not dating.
Look, if that's Mrs. Claus, that's your sister, I think you're gonna have to talk to Molly about that.
We will, but I don't necessarily want to move on just yet.
Dr. Molly, can I give my interpretation of his problem?
I would love that.
I think your real problem, Real Santa, is that you're not a real Santa. You probably never will be.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
Means what it means. You can't just kill Santa Claus and call yourself Santa Claus. It's not how that works.
And what makes you Santa, corporate Santa?
But you can kill yourself and become Santa? Is that how it works? Corporate bossy Santa?
That's exactly how it works, Krampus. And you're not a real Santa either.
I never claimed to be. But
If I'm not a real Santa, then how come I own the North Pole? All the elves work for me. I run this town. I am Santa. I'm the real Santa.
I would like to jump in and say, Boss Santa, if you're claiming that there are real Santas and not real Santas, is Nick here a real Santa?
I just want to say I never started with this real Santa thing. That was real Santa's point. But I would say Nick's a real Santa to me.
Aw.
The only one I see potential in at this table.
What's the distinction?
Nick, you're not going to make it as Santa. It's a tough business. Someone's going to take you out as Santa. You're not cut out for this business.
I don't know why you would say something so hurtful.
I mean, come on, kid. Are you sure you want to deliver presents to every single kid in the world?
It's what I majored in. Global distribution.
he says such hateful things because he hurts himself.
No, I don't. I just know how the real world works.
Well, you're saying that you feel isolated.
Yeah, so what?
Well, you
What,
accepted...
you gonna try to take my spot as Santa, Molly? You're just like everyone else, aren't you? You want to be Santa, don't you?
Real Santa, I do not want to be Santa. Especially after meeting the four of you.
So what gives?
If you were a real Santa, you would be able to read her heart and know she didn't want to be Santa.
Real Santa, it's not your fault.
It's not your fault, real Santa.
It's not your fault, real Santa.
It's just... nobody knows what it's like to be real Santa.
Real Santa. I, Krampus, I understand. When I walk in a room, they hear the chains rattle. They see my hooves hit the floor. They see my birch. No one wants to hug me. No
Yeah.
one wants to talk to me or connect with me. I'm just this symbol of hatred and punishment. That's why I'm here. I thought maybe I could make some friends.
I sort of killed one of the elves because I didn't like him, and then everybody said I was like such a jerk, and they all wanted to like leave, so I got like really mad and made them do like more elf stuff, but it's like I don't feel like Santa's as jolly as people think.
Sometimes dealing with the elves can be hard. Now, you can't kill them. Absolutely not. That's way beyond the pale.
I do.
But you can do some stuff with their hours, you know. Give them less time at the elf corral. Let them have to work a little harder some days.
Just kill their soul, not their body.
Okay.
They'll still be alive.
There's an elephant in the room here that needs to be addressed. Boss Santa and Krampus, obviously you two have history with one another. There are many things pointing to this, but what is the history here?
You want to tell it?
Boss Santa, boss? Yeah, boss, I'll tell our history. What, he didn't always used to be this way, you know. He used to be less about spreadsheets and stock buybacks and dividends. He used to care. Right after his death, and we were partners. He brought the good, I brought the, what I do. But then, you son of a bitch, you cut me out. You said you didn't need me anymore. You were just going to do it all on your own and take ownership of the entire corporation, whatever that meant.
And I was right. Things have been fine without you. Children don't even know what a Krampus is anymore. They just know Santa and presents, and they know good old capitalism. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Santa, boss, corporate, overlord Santa. Without me to balance you out, look what you've become.
I had my reckoning in the movie. I changed. We're giving back, and we're doing good now.
Have you? Sure, on the surface for the shareholders, but deep down, look, you know all these children's souls, but do you know your own?
What does my soul have to do with this, Krampus? Do you even have a soul, Krampus?
Your soul's what this all about. You cashed it in. For what, this Maserati? For these jewels? All this dripping jewelry you have on this red coat?
Oh, what do you want me to do? Look like you, a urchin off the street with these dirty chains all over yourself? Or this fake mafioso? Or this barely scrappy Santa he's got tattered robes on, basically? I'm doing something. No offense, Nick. I'm doing something, okay? I am giving toys to children. I am making this world happy. Because you know what makes people happy? Things, Krampus. Things. No. You can't count on other people. You can't count on a support group of Santas to love you. You can't count on finding someone else out there. You can't even count on the love of your sister.
Hey, Santas, I don't think corporate Santa's that bad. Some of the presents I've been giving world leaders are nuclear bombs. So I don't think he's that bad, Krampus. I've been a bad Santa.
Can I say one thing to you, Krampus?
Yes.
You know what I learned at the end of my movie?
What you learn, boss?
Everyone can change. And if you came here because you were feeling alone, you feeling like you needed something different, maybe that was a sign that you just need a little more of that Christmas spirit back, huh?
Corporate overlord Santa, you've changed. You've changed the children. You giving them what now? Apps on their phones and giving them smartphones and...
No, enough of me.
No,
I've changed. The world has changed.
Boss Santa, I'm sorry, not enough of you. We We really should dig into this. You told me in the beginning of the session that you have changed from the beginning of your quote-unquote movie to the end of your quote-unquote movie. Do you think that there's room to continue changing?
Change is a continuous process. And I'd actually like to take back one thing I said earlier. Real Santa, if you want to be a real Santa, you can be a real Santa. I'm not going to lie, the way you took out the previous Santa, a little unsavory.
He did say that he killed him. We can just start saying that.
But corporate Santa, when you tell me after everything that I earned that I'm not a real Santa, that hurts. I am a real Santa. And I think just because you're some corporate guy, I get it. You grew up different than me. You went to Christmas college.
No, I learned from the streets. This kid went to college.
Oh, yeah?
Go Christmas, you! Woo!
Maybe I don't have the same North Pole background as you, but I earned this. I made my own way as Santa. The real Santa.
How about you tell that to the kids? Hey, kids, I just killed another Santa in cold blood. Want a present?
They don't know.
Yeah, why is that? Let me tell you, when 5 kids show up at the North Pole, knocking on your door, jumping through all the traps, freeing all the elves from their mandatory work hours, and come up to you and say, hey, Santa, you've lost the Christmas spirit. Are you really ready to face them? Huh? Real Santa?
Corporate Santa, you think I would let anyone near the North Pole? There's landmines.
When do I start getting into traps? Seems like you both are big at the trap
Nick,
game.
you're not cut out
No,
to be
Nick.
Santa.
You can't don't set up traps outside. That is the wrong path, Nick.
I think you get on that path around the time you start giving nuclear bombs to world leaders.
And I felt bad about that, okay? They had it on their list, and they asked twice.
And they were on your nice list, real Santa?
Krampus, you have prevalent virtues that you seem to be hanging on to. I'm just curious why you do what you do. You seem so passionate about your work that you'll even extend that work into other magical Christmas beings, such as these other Santas.
Yes, I like to be the counterpart to a Santa. It's not enough just to have, a carrot to offer them, but what's really bothering me right now, and what I thought I could talk to these about, maybe, I don't know if corporate bosses with apps on their phones can relate to this, or they probably encourage it, but the children right now, they don't feel naughty or nice to me at all. They're neutral, they're numb, they're just staring at their phones. What am I supposed to punish if they're just scrolling?
You gotta follow their pages. Come on, Krampus.
I don't do algorithms, corporate overlord boss Santa.
What's your ratio? How many followers do you have?
My ratio is usually a 3 to 5 golden ratio birch switch.
You gotta stay with the times, man.
Yeah, if you're not on Christagram, that's Christmas Instagram, I don't know what you're doing.
Do I look like the kind of fellow that would be on Christagram?
Well, Grandpa, sorry, Freudian slip. Krampus, I kind of look up to you, if I'm being honest.
Thank you, young child.
It seems like you have a certain amount of resistance to adapting to the times. And for all their many, many, many faults, Santa and the real Santa, they're with it. They know what's going on. They're given advanced weapons technology or, setting up state-of-the-art traps. And I just worry that you're going to be relegated to the past if you don't adapt.
Oh, my sweet grandson Nicholas. If these two are with it, I don't know if I want to be. Leave me behind.
I understand that impulse. Honestly, I'm looking at two pretty grim visions of the future. Either I die at the hands of some guy from Philadelphia, or I'm doing stock buybacks from, I assume, BlackRock.
Listen, doesn't matter which firm you work with. You just need to make sure you're making profit.
So definitely BlackRock. Yeah.
That was not a no.
Definitely not a no. No. So honestly, if I don't mean to make it about me. Can I make it about me?
No,
Make it
no,
about
Nick,
you.
please. I would
Sweet
love
young
to hear your
Speak
perspective.
your truth, Nick.
I don't know if I want to grow up to be real or corporate Santa.
That's because you're not cut out for it, Nick.
Hey, hold on. I think that is one of the strongest things anyone has said at this table.
And honestly, I think I agree with you, real Santa. I don't know if I have what it takes to die at 41 or, die at the hands of a dude from Philadelphia who owns a tequila bar. I'm kind of reimagining my career choices, and if I can ask a vulnerable question, do you, Krampus, have openings for an assistant?
In your face, boss. Yes, young Nicholas. I'm looking for a new partner, someone that I could mold and educate about the old ways.
Can't believe what I'm hearing, Nick. Are you serious?
This is what happens. The competition goes down one by one.
You would leave your world without a Santa?
My sister has always been very ambitious. I think she could make a great Santa Claus. It doesn't always have to be a guy.
It is 2024. We can be progressive. We can have
Yeah.
a female Santa Claus. Sure.
Yeah, we could have a they-them Santa Claus. It'd be beautiful.
But you're going to be her enemy, Nick? You're going to become a Krampus of all things?
That's how he sees me, you see. I'm his enemy, not his partner.
When I see the relationship between you, corporate Santa, and Grandpa, I don't want to leave ruined relationships behind me. And it feels like, you had to have a magical child intervention to get you to respect labor law. And maybe it's just because I'm young. Maybe it's just because I haven't died yet. I want my life and my toys and my work with children to mean something.
This is why you're not the real Santa.
Nicholas,
like
you
me.
have a lot to learn.
I'm
We'll go
getting
over
worried more and more every day, Nick.
Yeah. My CGPA, that's Christmas GPA, was a 2.7, so I wasn't exactly top of my class. That was Rudolph.
Nick, regardless of your GPA,
CGPA.
your CGPA, you seem like you really know what you want.
I thought I did when I walked in here. I saw the cool dude get out of a Maserati, and I was like, maybe that can be me in 17 years and one death. And now,
Well, from many of those last things that you've said, it sounds like you want to work with kids, and you want to give, and you want to do all of the things that, many humans like myself expect of Santa that I didn't really know. Learning today from Boss Santa and the real Santa. If you want to go in that direction, more power to you. And if that means partnering with Krampus and being his diametric opposite, I understand. Is that how the Krampus Santa...
Traditionally, yes, but like I said, I'm tired of being feared. If maybe, Nicholas, we could find a new way.
what if we rebrand? What if we become Grandpa Claus?
Well, Boss Santa, you must know something about rebranding.
I've worked with many image consultants. For all of you at the table, I'd offer, if you want to be something different, become that thing. We can change you. You can change yourself. That's what I learned.
Or 5 children who make it through all your traps can change you.
That's the spark.
Great movie.
Hey, Corporate Santa, do you do any advertising? You
Yeah.
know, if your image is a leader or a Santa Claus has actually sort of taken a hit with, supplying weapons and death too.
Murder and weapons of mass destruction are hard to come back from, but you can come back from anything.
I was thinking sort of a, Santa Claus, get whatever you want type of thing. Or how about Santa Claus, it's a big boom.
I like
Christmas
that last
explosion.
one.
Yeah, that's really catchy.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, like we could do something with, I don't know, maybe, a nuclear explosion or something, something people like. What do people like, Santa? You know better, Corporate Santa.
I don't know how much people like nuclear explosions, but we could get you exploding on Instagram and Christmasgram soon.
Yeah, how much does that cost?
I mean, money's such a trivial thing these days. A couple million will have you back on top in no time.
All right, well...
But you got to do the work. The kids can show up, the kids can say all the nice things, but you have to do the work yourself. That's what I tell everybody.
And what do you mean work? Like, get rid of some people?
Oh, not necessarily. You may need to cut some people out of your life, but therapy. And,
Yeah, I can cut some people.
looking deep inside yourself. If you want to work with children, if you want to change things, you don't have to be the same kind of Santa as me, but you got to dig deep to figure out what you want to be. And if you want to stop being evil, you can do that.
In my experience, real Santa usually working with someone else to take all of that flack of people disappearing helps your image.
Like some sort of consigliere type of person.
Something like that, yes.
Someone to do the dirty work. I guess that's what you guys are.
Is that what the Tooth Fairy does?
Don't get me started on her.
Yeah, she's awful.
She knows what she's done.
She's got a nice pair of legs, but
And on that note, I think we're going to call it there. This has been Santa's Anonymous, with Krampus, of course. Thank you very much. Happy holidays, and
Merry Christmas.
thank you for listening to Characters Anonymous. We release new episodes every Wednesday, everywhere. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you're listening from, and if you like us, tell your friends about us. We can only continue to do this important work with your support, so please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/charactersanonymous. That's with a capital C in characters and a capital A in anonymous. Over there, we are offering early access to new episodes every Monday, and even a little shout out from one of our characters. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Take care of yourself.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. And now I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun, Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free, and each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.